be here as long as is necessary, either until they throw us out or they pass the bill here or somewhere else.
Shelley, what do you think of the occupation so far?
You're not going to video the
I've had so much fun enjoying myself here, and the people have been fabulous.
Are you tired after the long night?
Was I tired? Of course I'm tired.
Chuck,
Question.
Chuck, I see you there with your union's flag. What are you doing with this flag, comrade?
We're getting our comrade two. We're in the occupation to sign it.
Yep.
We're going to get two done. We're going to raffle one at the Embassy Ball tomorrow night. Another one we're going to keep as a momentum on the wall proudly at the MW office.
What do you think was achieved here through the last 24 hours, Chuck?
Well, with the officers over here and with acting superintendent, inspector, Con Calamari, that we are actually on the assumption that most of the display, of course, is because there's some thought that we have either the energy or the lack of discipline to try and leave this place and get to the select committee room. The reality, of course, if I can speak for us, is that I'm too knackered and too disciplined to do that. And in any case, wouldn't leave this place unguarded just in case the rat bags sneak back in. So we've reassured them that we understand that's a suspicion.
Well, Michael, what do you think of the last 24 hours, comrade?
It's 2 o'clock going on.
Are you tired, comrade?
Absolutely ruined.
Was it a long night for you?
Yeah.
And where did you sleep?
On the floor.
Just over behind the chairs?
Yeah. Hold it. Hang on. Message. Wait.
Some of our points we want to seek in that process while that's on, but I will be asking each of them to come up to contribute to the third reading debate. I will also be asking each of them to come to the division, whether it's taken at 5 o'clock. But immediately after the division is taken, I will be asking our colleagues to come back here and join me in this chamber.
It's a matter for the Labor Party. I take it from what you've reported, the decision has been taken.
No, ask the question.
Yeah.
I want to ask the question. I'm not asking it in a hostile spirit.
Yeah.
But I'll just put to you, why are you giving credibility to these corrupt proceedings by attending? Your position would be much clearer were you to stay away and make the point to all the sundry that you stay away because it was a corrupt proceeding.
I understand that viewpoint is held very strongly by many people, including within our lawyers and also amongst some of your colleagues outside. And basically, it's a question of judgment. I'm left in a few moments' time. I'm going to go in and make a recommendation to my colleagues who will be meeting with me in a few minutes' time. And basically, our task, we've got two lots of tasks here. There is, as you know, I've been talking a lot about the history of the joint movement. It's both industrial and political. And your movement produced another component, and that is the political wing. Our job is to be wherever the Parliament is sitting and continue to take up the fight with the Parliament in that process. And all I say to you is this, that if my colleagues go along with my recommendation, it will be just simply a display of fighting this bill to the end and saying that in the end, you guys need to make sure we win in the Parliament, because that's in the end the only protection you finally have. Eventually, we have to win in this place. I believe in the rule of law. That's why I became parliamentarian. I don't believe what they're doing is showing any respect for the rule of law. But I've got to go into the process of saying we oppose this bill and we will repeal this bill, given the opportunity in this House beyond a future election. If I were to say otherwise, that there is no rule of law and that there's no role in this Parliament, then it's simply nothing left for us to offer anyone. So I put that recommendation. I'm not asking you to agree with me, and I understand that there will be, as people explain, a divergent viewpoint at this point on this issue. We have to do...
Tom, Gordon wants to say something.
I'd like to speak. You're going to go and make a recommendation
recommendation.
Yes.
And obviously you're listening to what other people are saying, including your people here. I think there's a general feeling here that all the opposition, including the Greens, stay here. That I think in the chamber, stay in this chamber. But if you have a real problem with that, why don't you alone, everybody else is in here, you alone and go and tell them what you're doing. You're waiting for them here.
Well, I understand the viewpoint. In the end, can I just say to you, please don't get to the situation now where we start, I mean, the fight is here. You know, and our fight is just to try and through this process, keep the asset on them. I mean, we've had some difficult moments through this process. My judgment is that we've got to pursue this role in another location.
Can I just say, is that you're quite right, that there is two parts to this labour movement. One is the political wing and the other one is the industrial wing. We have worked side by side with the party in making sure that we try and defeat this legislation.
Yes.
We're not likely to defeat the legislation. What I'm asking you to do and your colleagues to do is remain united with the industrial wing of the party and make sure that you're here when that draconian legislation is passed.
Can I just say something? I'm not going up there, I feel very strongly about it, I will go up there. But equally I feel strongly that some of our people have got to be up there because they have to continue this fight in what's a reconvened parliament in a back room. Now you've described them yourselves as being sneaky, dirty and all these sorts of things. They have the power to do anything they bloody like unless our people are there to stop them doing it. They've got to be there. By the same token, we would have some people here. There are a number of people that stay here, but there are some people who have to go up there. There's no option, there's no choice. They've got to be there to continue the fight. It's as simple as that.
There is a very important point. You are not able to defeat this legislation, but our campaign is going to go on. That campaign has already been, we've already talked about it. Tony Cooper said it's going to be international. And the parallel that we're seeking you to understand is that in South Korea, Boxing Day, you understand?
We've been talking about that through this parliament, and that means that we've got to go out there and say that you have to take the parliament.